box show is gonna be on the red carpet doing her Xavia box red carpet thing.
Hey everybody! Yeah! Can't win, not in the game. Give me a beat. Now, see, I guess since she missed the women's panel last year, she thought she'd double up this year. So she decided she was gonna call out 2 of the fellas. Come on up, Miss LaKesha. Come on, make up for last year.
That's the woman that you're talking about is the woman that love to argue. That's my biggest turn off. Oh, yeah. I hate arguing. One, you never win an argument, especially with a woman. You know what I mean? Secondly is, like you said, women have this need, most women have the need for you to see it their way. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen. So what you want to do is, oh, why don't you want to continue to talk about it? Look, we done talked about this for 3 hours. You know, I'm nowhere, you know, further along in my opinion about whatever subject we were arguing about than you are. So you're exactly right. Those know-it-all women love to argue. They love to sit there and debate things with you left and right, forwards and backwards about, and then they get pissed off with you when you don't see it their way. You know what I mean? So
you know, to that point, I think. To that point, I think one of my other, and I can't believe I even like overlooked this one. When you're talking about somebody argumentative or you're debating or whatever, tell me what the real issue is. What is your issue with me, or our relationship, or all the above? My biggest pet peeve is if you have an issue, let's speak about the issue. Don't talk about all these other things that are totally. Don't talk about all these other things that are totally unrelated to the issue. Just get straight to the point and tell me. Because as a man, you're gonna lose me if you talking about this, and this, right, and that ain't what you really want to talk. That's not really the issue.
You got about 3 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
makes sense.
Who you going first? I'm gonna say you first. I'm gonna get to you.
Okay, so this is my thing. I hear you say women like to argue, and you spend 3 hours debating about an issue, and women get upset if you don't see it that way. My comment to that is that's not the case. For instance, ladies, and I'm gonna just need y'all to church if you hear me. Okay. So when you got a issue with your guy, right, and you come to him and you say, baby, you know what I'm saying, because we know how y'all get defensive and y'all sensitive. I don't care how strong y'all are. Hello, right there in the front, church. See, church. Y'all get defensive and you get sensitive because we come to y'all and we point out your shortcomings. So if we come to you and we say, you know, baby, you know, today I didn't feel like you really supported me, or this was a situation that I felt just, you know, like you weren't there for me, you know what I mean? And I would like it if you could do X, Y, Z. What you mean? What you mean? What you talking about? What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you talking about. You know what I'm saying? I do this, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? All right, cool. You cool. All right, cool. All right, cool. That's a reaction, right? You good. All right, cool. All right, cool, Keisha. You know what I'm saying? Then you done and you walk away. That's not hearing me. So yes, you in for a debate, you in for a 3-hour argument, and I'm gonna give it to you because I didn't like the fact that you dismissed my feelings. So that's what brings upon the argument. Honestly, I'm a female who I don't like to argue. I wanna love my man. I wanna hug him, I wanna kiss him, I wanna massage on him, cook him something to eat, send his ass to bed. Hello, Pooh, wake up in the morning butt naked, what's up? You know what I'm saying? But if you don't honor my feelings and feel and understand, or how about this, if you don't empathize with where I'm coming from, then yes, you're going to have an argument, but I don't need you to shut me down, which is half the time what they do. They shut us down, and because they don't want to argue, they don't want to debate. So instead of just listening to what our feelings are, they will rather instead say, okay, you cool, all right, you right, just to appease us. I don't need you to appease me. I ain't no kid. I ain't had no pacifier in 35 years, boo. I need you to listen. Period. Point blank.
And I'm like LaKesha.
First of all, I've been married for a year, so I'm gonna say you're right. The reality is, what I won't listen to is this. All right, you don't wear your finger in no man, grown man face. Second of all, that's right. We all have a reason. You know what I mean? If we disagree, we disagree. There's no need to keep going on for 3 hours. That was my point. You know what I mean? Just because you have your opinion doesn't mean I'm gonna like suppress mine because you feel X, Y, and Z. And I can't speak to who you were talking about, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. If you're right, you're right. We need to just squash it and move on. Yeah. You know what I mean? As long as it's not something detrimental like, yeah, I caught you in bed with old girl, you know what I mean? Okay, yeah, you caught me. What are you going to do about it? Like, you're going to leave me? Great, let's get on with it. I'm not going to keep defending it because it's what I did, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I think ignorant people argue, smart people debate. We can debate issues. Me and my wife, we debate issues all the time. But there's no need for us to, you know, she don't do anything like that. And I won't shut her down because she has an opinion. That was my point. I've been in past relationships where, you know, Marcus, you were out X, Y, and Z. Where did you go after the game? Blah, blah, blah. Where I went with my homeboys. That's not an argument. Just because she doesn't believe me, I'm not going to sit there and have a 3-hour debate about it. You know what I mean? It's up to you to believe me or not. I'm just going to speak my truth whether you believe it or not. So that was my point. It wasn't like, you know, I'm not going to sit here and entertain a legitimate argument. There's such thing as a legitimate argument and a stupid argument. Just because you want to do this doesn't mean I'm going to listen. So that's when I shut you down. When you start doing this and saying, oh, you this, you lie, you lie, you liar, unless you have proof that I'm lying, you know, panties or anything in your hand, then we can have a debate. But other than that, no, there's no argument there because I'm not ignorant or whatever. I would debate with you all day. But as far as arguing and finger wagging like you just did, like we were dating, like, you know, shit, like we were dating. I'm not gonna argue with you, Marcus, but I never had an argument with you, did I? They meet you till today. But other than that, you know, that was my point. You know what I mean? There's no need to spend 3 hours finger wagging, name calling, argument, because you get nowhere with that. You know what I mean?
Well, this was what I was saying. First of all, no, you're right. You know, if you wagging your finger in your guy's face, I do think that that's disrespectful because he shouldn't do anything disrespectful to the female as well. Okay, so that's not what I'm. So I have no problem with that. However, I think you made a comment of a debate is different from argument. Absolutely. But sometimes it seems like you guys can't even debate because you get so defensive about about the debate in and of itself. So my thing is, okay, yeah, nobody should be cursing at each other. Nobody should be waving fingers. Nobody should be stepping in anybody's personal space. However, if you can sit and actually empathize with that person and see yourself in that person's shoes, then there should not be a 3-hour situation where you have to go back and forth and debate about. I just don't see that. I just see it being as if you're sitting here and you say, "Boo, this is what happened, X, Y, Z." Oh, damn. All right. Well, I got you too. If it's a situation like that, then fine. You know what I'm saying? And I should be able to say what I need to say. You say whatever you need to say. How about this? Check it. Peep game. There is a such thing as conflict, but that doesn't mean that there has to be conflict in our relationship. I can disagree with you, and you disagree with me, but guess what? Once we come past that transition, we should be able to compromise and say, you know what, boo, okay, you see it this way, I see it this way, how about this? Let's go this way with each other. You know what I'm saying? That way, you don't feel like this, I don't feel like this, and we both are happy. But when you made me feel as if women just want to argue and just make situations out of nothing, and I just disagree with that.
Well, like I said, if you start off a conversation with this, the rules for debate are over with. You know what I mean? At this point, my mother don't even talk to me like this. Okay, so when you start doing that and rolling your...
Stop waving your hand around.
Now show hands, who did it first? Absolutely. So when you start doing this and when you start accusing or whatever, and I've been in relationships where I've been accused of things that wasn't necessarily true, based upon, like my man Harvey said, her homegirls intervening into that relationship. You know, so when I get into that mode, then if you accuse me of something, it's no longer a debate. You accusing me of something that may or may not be true. So if it's not true, then I'm not going to sit here and entertain that because I'm focused on other things right now. You know what I mean? So if you want to debate something, you can ask me a question. You know, as my wife does, she posed me a question. Like, yeah, this is a question, we can sit here and we can talk about it. And I'm more than willing to do so. But if you're waving your finger or you're accusing me of something, accusation versus a question is two different things. If you ask me, did this happen? Then we can talk about it. But if you say this did happen and I know it didn't, I'm gonna shut it down. Okay. That's my point. Because my time to me is very valuable. You know what I mean? I'm a husband first and a father second. So with that being said, I don't have time to sit here and debate something because you heard from hearsay, you know, based upon an argument you want to wage or she wants to wage, then I'm not gonna sit here and keep going back and forth with you. Once I tell you it didn't happen, you got two choices. You're going to believe me or you don't. You know what I mean? That's not going to change the way what actually happened and what my opinion is. So therefore, an argument therefore will be a waste of time. Names will get called. Words get said that don't mean. Both don't mean. So my opinion is I'm just going to shut it down before that even occurs.
I just want to make a quick comment because LaKesha is very expressive, but that don't mean she's waving her finger in your face saying, shut the up. That's different from what she's doing when she's talking and she's moving and she's expressive. That's two very different things. And so she's not being aggressive by putting her finger in your face and wagging it and cursing you out. That's something totally different from somebody who's expressive and talk with their hands. I talk with my hands as well. A lot of women of color, that's what we do. We move around. We might do a little neck roll. We got some hand movement. You need to understand the difference between an aggressive attacking, right, versus me being like animated, thank you, with my words. And so that's called effective communication, knowing how your spouse communicates.
He's right, actually. And to be honest with you, when you sit there and you try to empathize, it makes the conversation go longer. And it makes it go longer. And it makes it go longer. And by the end of the conversation, you find out what you was talking about an hour ago had nothing to do with what she really wanted. So the only way the conversation actually stops is if you shut it down and you make them say exactly what it is that they really want to say. Because when you try to empathize and you try to listen and you end up getting confused and you sitting there like, really? That's what you mad about? And then the next day you might find out something different. So empathizing and really listening, that'll have you talking 4 hours. And you look up, it's 5 o'clock in the morning and you ain't even got it in yet. So I'm telling you, when you do that, it takes... Am I telling the truth? No. Am I telling the truth?
That's true. That's dead on. Understand something. Understand something. I will be the first to say that men can do a better job at listening and having more patience and being sympathetic or whatever you're saying, so whatever the issue you may have. But I'll tell you this, and this is a perfect transition to what we were just talking about, I guess what your issue with me is, or my comment rather. Get to the point. Get to the point, because if you have some issues, let's talk about the issue. Because as it goes on, as the conversation goes on, you'll find out that that wasn't even really the issue. And that's all I was saying in the clip. Understand, and I don't want to generalize to say all men are the same, because we're not, but understand the nature of a man, you're going to lose us. If you're talking about a variety of things, men and women need to understand the general nature of man and woman.
Exactly.
Yes. Can I get an amen? But what I'm saying is no, it's not church. Forgive me, Lord. But what I'm saying is understand, like going into a relationship, you can kind of understand that the general nature of a man and the general nature of a woman. Fair? Okay. Absolutely. So, as you continue to get to know the man that you show interest in, and vice versa, the man towards the woman, you understand whether or not this man likes to talk, or what his attention span is, because I will guarantee you, I was raised by 2 women, and a lot of times I found myself as a kid, and even as an adult, listening. Just listening to what they're saying. And I have no idea after they talk to me for about 15 minutes, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? Because I'm going to tell you something. Most men, when you get to a certain relationship, they just want peace. That's right. They just want peace. At a certain point of a relationship, a man just wants peace. And to get to that peace, and to get to that point of peace, for that particular man, all we need to know is, what do you want me to do? Good point.
You guys want peace, and it sounds really like a selfish comment. I'm sorry, I have to say, because at the end of the day, a relationship is about both of us. It's just not about you. So if you don't want to hear me and you don't want to hear what I have to say, there are some proactive actions that you can take in the interim to make sure that you don't have a 3-hour conversation. Because 9 chances out of 10, whether the subject at hand is what I'm upset about or something you did last week, it's really at the end of the day about what you have done or what you have not done. So if you want me to have this short conversation with you, then if you took out the trash last week, I wouldn't be coming to you again asking you to take out the trash again. Or I wouldn't, if I'd have caught you in the bed with the woman, then we wouldn't have nothing to talk about. I mean, it's a relationship. It's about both of us. It's not just about you, and it's not just about me. So maybe you do have to listen for 3 hours because your behavior warranted me to sit here and talk to you for 3 hours.
I gotta put y'all in order. Okay, so I'm going to respond to you, sir, because I think you're right. That's most fair. Okay, so initially, my ambivalence, if you will, with your comment was because there are women who do get to the point. Like, I'm not a person who I tickle-toe around the issue. I'm gonna shoot it where it hurts. And I'm gonna tell you what my issue is. Now, it's up to you to listen to what that issue is. And don't pick out the issue that you think I have a problem with. So if I tell you XYZ 1, 2, 3, I don't need you to pick out X and 2. I need you to understand the whole gamut of the situation. I don't need you to pick out what you choose to pick out and then be defensive about that particular issue. You see what I'm saying? So for instance, if I say, you know what? So right, because and that's another thing. That's another thing. Because so it is not my fault that you got a short attention span. It's you. It's you. Look, cookie cut from behind. You need to understand XYZ is XYZ 1, 2, 3, and that's just all it is. So with that being said, if you are a listener, because I remember you said that's what you do. You listen.
And I'm listening.
So if you listen, then your attention span should be longer than 15 minutes. So now look, I need you to get this back.
Unless I have a unless you have a plethora of issues with me, then it shouldn't take 15 minutes for you to tell me. Just tell me what it is. You need me to take out the garbage? Fine, baby. I'll take it out when I'm done with this, or I'll take it out now. That's really not my issue, but that's the example that she gave. If you got an issue with me because you caught me sleeping around with somebody, that might be more than 15 minutes. But the point is that you told me. You told me. And this goes back to my man's point. Then we can discuss it. But tell me what the issue is. That's my only point. Just tell me what it is. It shouldn't take you 15 minutes to tell me that you need to listen to me better. Or you need to understand that when I mean this, I really mean this. which is crazy in itself, but it happens.
Yeah, don't keep talking about it.
So,
Good point. Okay, there's been a lot here, but I think this is about communication and respect. And I'll give you an example. Men give women a whole lot more time to express themselves than do other men. If a man comes in, we got about 2 minutes to settle that with words, and then it goes always. So for a woman to get like 3 hours, you want to express this? We don't have that type of time to express what we've already dealt with in the first 5 minutes. So where you're determining, what I've seen with women is where they don't have that point that we're talking about, like get the point, talk about it, and then there's a whole bunch more. It's when you start talking about our character and what you did do last week and last year and last month. I'd like to have talked about it that time. Why are we talking about it again? So you can't tell me how to talk to you if I haven't talked to you yet because you're still talking to me. You know? So it's about having, if you respect your man, you gotta come to him and say, I respect you, baby, but this is my problem. What do you say? And then shut up. And then he will do the same, and he'll do the same for you.
The truth lie. We both know the truth. You and I both know I didn't take out the trash last week, okay? So it doesn't take 3 hours for you to sit there and tell me you didn't take out the trash. I can look over to the kitchen and see a pile of trash over there.
Why you didn't take it out though?
That's a different argument. That's the hold up. That's the exact question though. We don't need to have a 3-hour debate. I can have one answer with that. I didn't feel like it. Okay? And then yeah, exactly. I was busy or X, Y, Z, but you don't have to sit there and stand over me and lecture me about it. You know what I'm saying? My point is this. Time is precious. We don't have it all day long. You know what I mean? Especially in a relationship. We can spend time arguing about debating X, Y, Z. Why was you in bed with old girl? Or why you didn't take out the trash? You know, the bottom line is, get to your point, okay? And I'll rebut that. You know, I'll answer that accordingly. But to sit there and talk down on me like, well, you didn't take out the trash for 3 hours, is pointless to me. I know I didn't take out the trash, or I know I was in bed with old girl. Make your decision. What you gonna do? You're gonna leave me or you're not? It's not a debate at that point.
I'm gonna wrap this up.
wrap it up.
Get your life. Okay. Number one. Women don't like to argue past 3 hours. I'll just as much. Look at here. There's a lot of us that don't. I want to get through with what I have to say to you just as much as you want me to get done saying it. Okay. Bottom line. Number two. Just because I come at you and I say something to you does not necessarily, as a woman, does not necessarily mean that I'm disrespecting you or I'm accusing you of something. Now, if all of your issues are accusations or because you've been in bed with somebody else, you need to check yourself. You know what I'm saying? See what you're doing that's making that woman come at you like that. First of all, let me just tell you this. If you can't listen past a certain amount of time, that's your problem. That's not mine. I want to just get my feelings out. You respect them, understand them, and we can move on past to the next situation. Just like y'all don't want to hear us, we don't want to argue. I don't want to sit here and lecture you. First of all, I'm not your mama. I'm your woman. I'm laying down with you. I'm giving you what your mama not giving you. Hello. So therefore, that means I'm not going to sit here and argue with you and lecture you. But I need you to listen. That's it. That's all. Get your life together.
I don't even know what to say about that. That was to get to the point, and we got a bunch of points out of that one. Okay, well, all right, okay. Well, that's about all that's the point that I got out of that.